Yesterday afternoon, Quique Setien and the board of directors met up to discuss the signature of a potential new number 9 to replace Luis Suarez. The decision reached was that yes, we do need a striker. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here and welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the potential transfer replacements for Luis Suarez due to his end of season injury. These are signatures that Barcelona want to make in a short-term duration, something that they very similarly did with Kevin Prince Boateng, but this time around they're ready to splash cash if necessary because they don't want to commit the failure of getting a player in Boateng that didn't manage to score a single goal in his time at Barcelona. Needless to say, guys, I know that a lot of you will be disappointed with this decision. I also think that we do not need a striker. Really, in reality, putting the faith in Ansu Fati, Dembele, Carles Perez, Griezmann and Messi is good enough for me. And it doesn't make sense at all because we are kind of signing a player here on the short term, which will only be useful for 6 months technically. And then we want to splash the cash also in the summer for the release clause of Lautaro Martinez when it's 110 million euros in July. We're kind of overstepping in our own plans. You know, we need to stick to our plan, not deviate whatsoever. I know the injury to Suarez is a big one, but we have good enough tools to fix this, so we should continue with it. One final thing that I have to say, guys, is that this list will go in the order of the least likely to the most likely candidates to be coming to Barca here in this window. So let's start off with number 5, the least likely option. So for this spot, I'm going to be going with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. If this was a list of the players that Barcelona would like to sign the most at this current stage, Aubameyang would be up there in number 2 or number 1. But in reality, when we take a look at the facts of the way that Barcelona are trying to approach this deal for Aubameyang, doesn't make sense at all. He's a huge prolific striker right now for Arsenal, their top goal scorer, in fact, with 14 goals in this season. How are you going to go then to Arsenal and offer them a loan deal? Makes absolutely no sense. Arsenal are fighting to get back into Europe or in Europa League spaces. I don't think they will make top 4. Maybe they can, but right now they're 11th. 11th, I think they're in the Premier League. So they need the goals from someone like Aubameyang. And more importantly, he's his captain now. Under Arteta, Aubameyang is the captain. So alone to get him out there won't... It's simply not going to happen. It's completely ludicrous from Barcelona to even try to make a deal like this. At number 4, I'm going to be going with Timo Werner. And very similar to Aubameyang, he would be probably the second best in terms of quality here on this list. And I have wrote down here his number of goals, and he has 29 goals and 7 assists in all competitions this season. And 20 of those and 6 assists come in the Bundesliga. So this guy is literally on fire. He's only behind, if I'm not wrong, Ciro Immobile, that he recently scored in this game in this fixture of Serie A. He scored to get up to 23 goals. So Timo Werner is up there for the Golden Boot right now. That's how kind of precious this asset can be. But the thing with Werner is that he has already officially confessed that he would like to go to Liverpool if he was to depart in the summer. And that's the key, summer. Because RB Leipzig, there's no way whatsoever that they're going to let go of a player like him at this current stage if it's not for like upwards of 80 million euros. Leipzig right now are first of the Bundesliga. They're still in the Champions League and they have all to fight for. So why in the hell would you sell your best player right now? Our number 3 is Chimi Avila. And some of you may have heard him, some of you haven't maybe. He's a player currently, the striker, the main number 9 for Osasuna. He has 9 goals and 2 assists during this campaign, and he's not bad whatsoever. He's Argentinian, so you can make all the assumptions you want between him, links to Messi and all of that. But in reality, I think he's a player that for a short term like this one, doesn't make sense for us and for him. He may believe this is the best opportunity in his career, but I think that a lot of us know so far that players like this that join big clubs, they never end up to kind of progress in the latter stages. He's at place number 3 here in the stack middle of the list because he would be a very affordable option. I don't think Osasuna wouldn't neglect to make a possible transfer. I think that around 50 million euros, even less, if we loan them perhaps Abel Ruiz, a deal like that could materialize and we could get a striker in Chimi Avila. And for also the number of games that we're going to be playing, I think would be good enough, because if we are to play, let's say, the quarterfinals or the semifinals of the Champions League or El Clásico, in all due respect, for me, still the front three would be Griezmann, Messi and Dembele or Ansu Fati. I think that has to go with that should be our main front three for now to the rest of the season. And if we get any of the strikers in this list, I don't even think that could change. On number 2, we have Papi Piatek, Christoph Piatek. And for me, this has been a player that I've already kind of talked about a lot in the channel. I was a very big fan of him when he was at Genoa, when he had that kind of just season and banging kind of first 5 games with AC Milan. I was all over him. But he has died down a lot. He has 10 goals in all competitions. 4 of them are with Poland and 4 of them are in Serie A. So certainly not good enough whatsoever, and 0 assists. So this guy literally doesn't contribute too much to his team right now, and it's not a surprise that Milan are kind of out there to sell him. The best way to just take a look at Piatek and see in what level he is at this current stage. You can just see the other teams that are being linked to him. Those are Newcastle, Aston Villa. You have Manchester United and then Spurs. Okay, relatively 2 better clubs. And then Barca. Would Piatek join Barca? Of course he would, because that is an opportunity, like I said, with Chimi Avila of a lifetime. And right now, not playing good, he will be surprised that Barca are even linked to him. But for me, it just makes no sense whatsoever, because he needs to get back into his groove. A new club makes sense for him then, but for Barca, he's not going to play games. So he's never going to get back to his groove. And when we need him, he's not going to be able to score goals right from the get-go like we want to, because that's what we need. We need a prolific goal scorer. He is a prolific goal scorer, yes, but right now he's out of form. And he doesn't have time. Doesn't have time at Barcelona to be able to do so. The reason now that why he's a number 2 and second on this list is because he would be a very affordable option, I think, for Barcelona. And simply because of those reasons, he's up here. Nothing more. And finally, at number 1, we got the guy which is all over the place. We have been linked with him already 3 times in the past 3 summers. That is Rodrigo Moreno from Valencia. Rodrigo is a very all-around good attacker, and literally for me makes a lot of sense. If we're going for a striker, to try and get him. He's very, very kind of variable. He can play as a left wing striker, right wing, he's just super pacey, very good associative play, dribbling, has that kind of one-on-one capabilities that perhaps some of other strikers do not have. I think he's the most possible similar option to Luis Suarez out of this list. Out of these 5, he's the most similar to him, because he can kind of join this attack of Barcelona and be ready to kind of switch flanks and all of that. And more importantly, according to Di Marzio, Barcelona have already met with the agents of Rodrigo Moreno. So something is happening. Something's going on. The also thing is that we've been linked to him in the past, and last season, if I'm not wrong, or no, the season of where we signed Boateng, the deal was almost going to happen, but something didn't materialize and it crumbled. But now, kind of those foundations are already there, and we can just build onwards from that. So I think that with the time remaining, for the quality of player and for the money, Rodrigo Moreno makes a lot of sense. If you were to offer a player to Valencia, in my eyes, it could be someone like Abel Ruiz on loan. Carles Perez, perhaps, if he's not going to get enough game time, because certainly in my eyes, he right now would be number 5 in the pecking order. Add Rodrigo Moreno to that, and he will fall to number 6. Carles Perez could easily go to Valencia with Abel Ruiz, have a good understanding there. Valencia are still fighting to try and get to a top 4 position, and those are good, prolific players that can help them to join, and they will be very professional. Of course, their culture at Barcelona. So I think that, yeah, Rodrigo Moreno would be the option that Barcelona should go with now that we want to sign a striker. My opinion always stands still that we shouldn't get one. I think with the players that we got is good enough. But if we were to sign one, Rodrigo Moreno makes the most sense. So that's going to be everything for right now, guys. Hope you have enjoyed. I will be making another video previewing the game against Ibiza. It's not necessarily a preview, much more kind of 3 things we can learn and stuff like that. But it's still kind of with the lineups and everything. So hopefully you enjoy that. And say subscribe so you get notified exactly when that comes up. See you in the next one. Take care.